The Lego Movie 2, the second part, is the sequel to the Lego Movie and the fourth movie in this Lego Movie franchise. I was absolutely looking forward to this movie. I absolutely loved the Lego Movie. I also thought the Lego Batman movie was great. The Lego Ninjago movie, I didn't see, but I heard that one wasn't very good. And simply the way the Lego movie ended, you knew it was clearly setting up for a sequel, so I was interested to see where it was gonna go. So the Lego Movie 2 takes place 5 years since the Lego Movie, which I believe is as long as it's been since the Lego Movie. The opening scene starts off, we pick up right where the Lego Movie ended. You got the Dublo Legos from the kid's little sister. They come into the world, they're like, oh, we're gonna destroy you all. Emmett tries to make peace with all of them, you know, he constructs this big heart, offers it to one of the Legos, but they just eat it, and then they all just start attacking Lego World. And now 5 years later, the Lego World has basically become a Lego version of what Mad Max Fury Road looked like. Everything's in ruins, everything's a wasteland, everyone's insane, hardcore, and just crazy. All, of course, with the exception of Emmett. He's still himself. I would say Emmett is just one of those characters that's impossible for you not to love. You know, he's funny, you admire him for being so upbeat and being so oblivious to just how shitty the world is right now. Because I guess you could say for him, he's just all happy and excited that Lucy's now his girlfriend. He wants to move them into this dream house. And everyone's just trying to get through him. It's like, Emmett, everything is not awesome anymore. Everything's kind of sucky. And then one day, the heroes all get attacked again, this time by General Sweet Mayhem, who is from the Sistar system, who has come to abduct a bunch of different Legos. They almost get away from her, but Emmett, of course, foolishly lets her in, and then they all get taken away. Benny, Batman, Unikitty, Lucy, they all get kidnapped. They're all going to the Sistar system. Emmett's now the only one left who could potentially save them. So now we have Emmett going after to save the heroes, and we have what the heroes are experiencing in the Sistar system, and that's pretty much the movie. Getting into what works, okay, so what the movie repeats from the last movie is obviously the ability to create anything with Legos. It's undeniably really great to once again see that this movie shows that you can create anything with Legos. It's great seeing all the characters back again. You know, I talked about how it's great to see Emmett back, but the other characters, they're great once again too. Batman's awesome, Unikitty's awesome, Lucy's awesome. It's great to see the gang back together. I will say, in this movie though, where the movie I think falters a little bit is the humor. Where the Lego movie really worked, I think really surprised a lot of people, myself included, was just how funny it ended up being. I mean, you go into the Lego movie and you think it's just gonna be, oh, it's just gonna be a movie with a few chuckles for the adults. Kids will love it, adults will maybe enjoy it. No, the Lego movie is exactly the way a family movie should be done. It is great for kids and adults. Whenever I watch the Lego movie, I laugh my ass off every time because the movie's actually genuinely really funny. This movie does have humor. This does have some moments that are undeniably funny, but it also have moments that for me weren't really funny. However, in the auditorium I was in, there were a lot of kids out there, and when the jokes that didn't really hit with me were given, a lot of the kids, they were laughing at them. Which does have me now feeling that the Lego Movie 2 was more meant for kids. Like, you feel like a lot of adults went into the Lego Movie and really loved it, not just because it was a really good movie, because it did bring out the nostalgia in them, you know? It brought out playing with Legos like they did back in the day. The makers behind this movie probably knew, okay, we're gonna make a sequel, the nostalgia's probably gonna be gone for the most part, so adults will maybe automatically enjoy it a little bit less. So I feel like maybe they were going for the kids a little bit more in this. They were going for a little bit more of the childlike humor, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying this is one of those movies that you're gonna go into and, you know, kids are gonna love it and adults are just gonna be like, oh, kill me. It's not all like that, but I still can't deny that it is still a movie that's probably meant more for kids. I think what this movie also suffers from is a typical case of sequelitis. It's not as special as the first one. It's also not as surprising. I mean, going into the Lego Movie, a lot of people thought it was gonna suck. I thought it was gonna suck, and it was awesome. I was like, oh shit, that was awesome. I can't believe it. I'm an idiot. So everyone went into this movie with high expectations. Everyone went in expecting, oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. And, you know, when you go into absurdly high expectations, you want new things. You want to be surprised. This movie doesn't really have the surprise element to it, you know? You kind of go in knowing what to expect. You're just like, okay, yeah, this is good, but I've seen this before. But I do want to touch on some of the new characters that are in this movie, because the new characters in this movie I actually thought really did work. On Emmett's side, he has built his home into a spaceship because he's going to go after the others to save them. He's trying to make his way through an asteroid field. He can't make it out of there, but he ends up being saved by a man named Rex Dangervest. I'm going to say right now, this dude was really good. When it came to the comedy in this movie, this guy really delivered. He's like this rugged, tough guy who's all like, oh, I'm an adventurer, I'm a galaxy savior, I'm a raptor trainer. And, you know, Emmett immediately just idolizes this guy because he's completely awesome. And Emmett's thinking, Lucy thinks I need to grow up a little bit, become more, you know, like this guy, so maybe I should follow his mannerisms. And you begin to see what kind of looks like a student-teacher relationship between the two of them. I really do like the chemistry between them because, in a way, they are kind of polar opposites. And on one side, you have the rugged, tough guy, take charge kind of dude, and on the other side, you have the the innocent, sweet, charming, kind of oblivious to everything guy. That's definitely where some of the comedy came in that did hit. All I will say, when Rex was describing the various jobs that he has, being a raptor trainer, being a galaxy savior, and the fact that he did sound a lot like Chris Pratt, it did have me sitting there like, alright, I think there's more to your story than we know. And on the other side, the heroes end up in the Sistar system. They are introduced to the queen of it, which is Queen whatever wannabe, who is voiced by Tiffany Haddish. I gotta say, Tiffany Haddish has been getting some work in recently. I'm starting to see her as like the female Zach Galifianakis when you really break it down. Like, Zach Galifianakis was in The Hangover. No one really knew him before that, but he was hilarious in that. Then he just got a bunch more work after that because he was so funny. Tiffany Haddish was kind of the same deal. No one really knew her before Girls Trip. She was hilarious in Girls Trip, and now she's in everything. That's right, folks. All it takes is one movie, one video, one moment to change your life forever. Still waiting on that for me. But anyways, you realize in this world that Wannabe's plan is basically to marry Batman, so it'll essentially merge the kingdoms together, but she comes off as a complete villain, which Lucy sees right through, and she's thinking, alright, I think your intentions is to essentially destroy our Lego world. And Wannabe's got every other hero completely brainwashed with everything that she's promised them, everything that she's like enticed them with. Lucy's not budging though, and now she's trying to find ways to stop her. But it is around this time Rex and Emmett have made it to the Sistar system, and Rex has taught Emmett how to be a master breaker. Basically, you put all your power into a Falcon Punch and you just, obliterate whatever it is you built and you start from scratch. And now their goal is simple. They want to get to the reception. They want to turn off all the pop music that's basically brainwashed everybody, and then Emmett's going to destroy the wedding cake, which will end everything. Because throughout the movie, Emmett's been having these visions. He had this dream of something called Armageddon. He had a vision of this day, of this wedding, of this event, and then eventually it all leads to basically the Legos just disappearing into an abyss of nothing. Now the heroes believe it's like, alright, well then we gotta stop this wedding from happening, because if we don't, we're all screwed. But what I really like seeing right here is you begin to see the movie is essentially taking place in the same kind of setting that the last one took place in. You at least catch hints of that anyway. It's when Lucy starts fighting Mayhem, and she starts talking to her more, and Mayhem reveals it's like, the goal was never to make this come off as antagonistic. The queen is actually good. She wants to unite these worlds so we can all just be one together. And it's at a point when Mayhem says something to Lucy like, we look up to you, we idolize you, we just want to be a part of this with you. It's when I heard that, I was thinking, oh, this sounds like it's targeting back to the real world. And sure enough, we do go back into the real world, and you see what all this has been symbolized through the Legos. We see Emmett destroy the keg after Lucy tries to stop him because she's now learned the truth. He still destroys it. And you see in real life, it is the son destroying what his sister built because his sister took his stuff. He's upset about that, but she just wanted to play with him, and he's done that, and now you find out what Armageddon really is. And you see their mom come in, played by Maya Rudolph, and she's all like, you know what, I can't take all this fighting going on between you two because of these Legos. You're putting them into storage, you're not playing with them anymore. And you find out that is exactly what it was. Now the kids have to put all the Legos into storage, which, you see in the Lego world is the Legos getting sucked into this vortex of basically never returning. And now it's at this point we discover more of who Rex is and what his true intentions were. It turns out Rex is in fact a rugged, futuristic version of Emmett. And when you hear that, it's like, oh, that makes perfect sense. He sounds like Chris Pratt. He's basically Chris Pratt in every movie he's in. This makes a lot of sense. And Rex reveals in the original timeline when he went into the asteroid, he ended up crashing and he wound up under the washing machine dryer. No one ever came for them. He was trapped there for years and eventually made his way out, changed his outfit, built basically a time machine after a bunch of different time models from a bunch of different movies involving time travel. I really like saying that he built this giant time machine vehicle after all that stuff just because, I don't know, it addressed the movie fan in me. And he was like, I was going to plan this the whole time. I was going to go back, save myself, being you, from the asteroid. I was going to convince you of all this that was going to happen, and then Armageddon would happen as my revenge on all the Legos for abandoning me. But everyone will call Rex a hero. I call him more of a tragic character when you think about it. Because he was Emmett. He was the happy, positive guy who just loved everything. And then he became abandoned because maybe people felt he was too sweet. Then he became rugged, he became a tough guy, and now it's this. But it's also this point, Lucy, while being trapped in storage, has learned more about what the true past was between the brother and sister. It turns out the heart that Emmett made for her preschool Legos from the very beginning of the movie, that was the queen herself. That was the queen's true form. And that was the start of the bond between the siblings, and then, the siblings grow up, they didn't really want to play with each other anymore, and it resulted in this. And then Lucy does something similar to what Emmett does in the Lego movie. She's able to get the boy's attention. He looks in the box and he finds the heart. He goes, he brings that back to his sister, and, you know, kind of rekindles that memory between them, you know, rekindles the relationship. And now they're beginning to rebuild the Legos. It looks like everything's going to be okay, but there's still Rex and Emmett that people have to worry about. At this point, Rex is trying to trap Emmett under the washing machine so Rex can continue to exist, but at this point, Lucy comes in and she saves Emmett, and because the brother and sister have made up, that means that the timeline that Rex was involved in, that doesn't exist anymore, which means Rex now disappears from existence. And it's also used his master breaking ability to destroy the time machine. Now time travel is no longer a thing. Now it's at this point, both the brothers' world and the sisters' world, they've finally been united. They finally learned to play together. And you know, the mom, she finally sees like, oh, they finally learned to play together. Alright, you guys can keep your Legos. There really isn't any of Will Ferrell in the background. We hear his voice a few times. There's that line he has in the end where he screams, honey, where are my pants? I actually laughed really hard at that moment because then you're just like, oh, so that's where they got that from. Nice. So all in all, I do think the Lego Movie 2, the second part, was a very solid sequel to the Lego Movie. The characters, old and new, are great. I love seeing the ability to build anything with Legos once again. I like seeing more worlds being explored. I love how seeing that this is all really just a representation of kids playing with their toys. The movie has solid humor for the most part. It is a movie you can have a lot of fun with. My gripes, like I said, are one, the movie does lack a bit of the originality that the first one had, but that does come with sequels. It is a movie that I do think kids are going to enjoy more than adults will. Not that adults won't enjoy it. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I definitely think kids are the ones this is going to hit a home run with. In the end, as far as a direct sequel to Lego Movie could go, I think this is as good as it could have gone. And with that, I'm going to say that they should treat this the same way I said they should treat the Creed movies. They should stop here. The Lego Movie and the Lego Movie 2, it's a great two-movie story that you should just leave as it is. Because I think a third one that is a direct sequel to the two of them, I think it would be milking it at that point. If you want to continue to do Lego movies, I think they could continue to do work with Lego Batman, maybe even make spin-offs for some of the other characters. But as it stands with the actual Lego movies themselves, leave them like that. A two-part saga that altogether is pretty awesome. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.